Imagine it's a Tuesday morning. You open your laptop and there's a meeting invite from HR titled Workforce Update. By 10 a.m., you're staring at your last pay stub. No warning, no severance beyond the legal minimum. Just a bi-weekly deposit that isn't coming again. Now here's the question most people don't ask until it's too late. How many Tuesdays can you survive before the math stops working? Hi, I'm your guide for today, and we're exploring something that sounds extreme, a 12-month emergency fund, and why the standard advice of 3 to 6 months might not be the safety net you think it is. Here's the standard advice you've probably heard. Save 3 to 6 months of expenses and you're good. It's in every personal finance book, every blog, every well-meaning relative. Here's what they don't tell you. The average duration of unemployment in Canada is 22.6 weeks. That's nearly 6 months, and that's the average. Half of people take longer. If you have a 6-month fund and you hit the average, you're landing at 0. If you take longer than average, and millions of Canadians do, you're in trouble before the fund runs dry. Now look at what you'd actually be living on. Employment insurance in Canada maxes out at $729 per week in 2026. That's roughly $3,159 a month before taxes. The average one-bedroom apartment in Canada is renting for over $2,000. That math doesn't work. EI alone won't cover rent and food in most cities, especially Vancouver, Toronto, Halifax. And here's the part that keeps people up at night. A July 2026 RBC poll found that 32% of Canadians have no emergency fund at all. None. 0. Among households earning under $100,000, it's 38%, and 52% of Canadians across all income levels worry they haven't saved enough. This isn't a failure of willpower. Canadian households are carrying debt at 174.9% of disposable income. The debt service ratio, the share of income going just to debt payments, hit 14.75% in early 2026. People want to save. The math is stacked against them. So 3 to 6 months is the advice, but the data says that's the minimum to survive the average. 12 months is the number that lets you breathe. Most people calculate their emergency fund target the wrong way. They pick a number, $10,000, or 3 months of salary. Both are guesses. Here's how to get your real number. Pull your last 3 months of bank statements. Add up everything you actually spent, not what you think you spend. Not what you wish you spent. What left your account, rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, phone, internet, insurance, transportation, minimum debt payments. Not restaurants, not subscriptions you can cancel, not the stuff you'd cut if things got tight, just the non-negotiables. The average Canadian household spent $76,750 on goods and services in 2023. Shelter alone, at 32.1% of spending, is roughly $24,600 a year, or $2,050 a month. That's just keeping a roof over your head. Now subtract what EI would cover, up to $3,159 a month, and you see the gap. If your essential monthly expenses are $4,000, EI covers $3,159, leaving you $841 short every single month. Over 12 months, that's a $10,092 gap. That's your target, not a guess. Math. Write down your monthly essentials number, multiply by 12, subtract what EI would give you. That's the real fund you need, not some round number from a blog post. Here's the first system, and it's the one you can do tonight before you go to bed. Open a high-interest savings account that's completely separate. Most Canadians keep their savings at the same big bank where they do their daily spending. You know what those accounts pay? Essentially, nothing. On $10,000, you might earn $10 or $20 in a year. Meanwhile, your money sits one tap away from your checking account, pretending to be separate when it isn't. Now compare that to what's available. EQ Bank's personal account pays 2.75% when you set up direct deposit. Neo Financial offers up to 3%. Wealthsimple's cash account pays 1.25%. Wealthsimple's referral program puts $25 in your pocket just for opening. These are all CDIC insured, meaning your deposits are protected up to $100,000, same as the big banks. On a $10,000 balance, 2.75% pays you $275 in a year versus maybe $15 from a big bank. That's real money. That's groceries for a month. But the interest rate is actually the second reason to do this. The first reason is friction. A transfer takes a day or two to clear. That window is everything. It's the difference between, do I really need this, and it's already spent. Open the account tonight. 10 minutes of paperwork. Done. Most people fail their emergency fund not because they can't save, but because they raid it for things that aren't emergencies. A concert your friends are going to, a flight deal that's too good to pass up, a new phone because yours is slow. None of these are emergencies, but in the moment they feel urgent, and urgency masquerades as emergency. Here's the fix. Write down your personal definition of an emergency right now. Here's an example. An emergency is an unplanned, unavoidable expense that threatens my ability to maintain basic shelter, transportation, health, or income. Read that again. Unplanned, unavoidable. Threatens basics. A car repair when you need the car to get to work? Emergency. A new set of tires because yours are at 20%? That's maintenance. Plane tickets for a wedding you've known about for 8 months? That's poor planning. A root canal? Emergency. Teeth whitening? Not an emergency. The definition protects the fund from you. When the urge hits to pull money out, you have to ask, does this meet the definition I wrote down? If it doesn't, the answer is no. The third system is the one that makes the first two actually work. Automate. Most people try to save whatever is left at the end of the month. Here's the problem. There is never anything left. When the money sits in your checking account, it feels available. And when money feels available, it gets spent. The fix is to move the money before your brain registers it as spendable. Set up an automatic transfer on the same day your paycheck lands, not 2 days later. The same day. If your employer allows split direct deposit, even better. Send a fixed percentage directly to the emergency fund account. You can't spend what never shows up. Start small. $50 a paycheck is $1,300 a year. $100 is $2,600. $200 is $5,200. That's the gap from System 1 closing faster than you think. The amount matters less than the consistency. Automate the habit. Let the balance take care of itself. System 4 is the fastest way to find extra dollars when automation alone isn't enough, and it takes 10 minutes. Pull up your last month of bank statements. Find one recurring expense, one that you're paying for and not using, the streaming service you forgot, the gym membership you haven't swiped, the subscription box. Cancel it today. Take that exact monthly amount and redirect it to your emergency fund. Not your checking account, not your fun money. The fund. Here's why this works psychologically. You're not cutting something you'll miss. You're taking money that was already leaving and changing its destination. You don't feel poorer. Most people find at least $25 to $80 a month doing this. That's $300 to nearly $1,000 a year from canceling things you forgot you were paying for. And here's the bonus. Do this every 3 months. Subscriptions accumulate. Prices creep up. A quarterly 10-minute audit will keep finding dollars you didn't know you were losing. Let me tell you what 12 months of expenses actually buys. It buys the ability to say no. No to the first job offer because you're desperate. No to a predatory loan. No to a toxic workplace. It buys time. Time to find the right next role. Time to retrain if your industry shifts. Time to heal if you or a family member gets seriously ill. Time to think clearly instead of reacting from panic. It buys dignity. You don't have to ask family for money. You don't have to post on social media asking if anyone knows of anything. You don't have to sell your belongings. That's what your number actually buys. Options. Here's the part most people skip. Actually starting, not tomorrow, today. Open the account. Right now. It's free, it takes 10 minutes, and it creates the container for everything else. Define your emergency. Write the sentence. Set up the auto transfer. Even if it's $20, the amount can grow later. The habit starts now. Cancel one unused subscription. Redirect it. 12 months sounds impossible until it isn't. Every fully funded emergency fund in this country started the same way, with someone deciding today was the day they stopped hoping and started preparing. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.